All right. Good evening, everybody. How are you? Good to see you. All right. You did hear right. You heard correctly what they're talking about. You definitely heard. That's right. You got to get your identity about who you are first inside of what you're building, what your organization's up to, what kind of situations you're building. How are you? Good to see you. All right. You did hear right. You heard correctly what they're talking about. You definitely heard. That's right. You got to get your identity about who you are first inside of what you're building, what your organization's up to, what kind of situations you're building. Building, what your organization's up to, what kind of situations you're building. All right, we found it. Okay. How's everyone doing? All righty, righty. Let's go ahead and resume what we've been doing. Okay. Want to go ahead and say again, hello and good evening. Also, one of the things I want to make you aware of is one of the most important things is about, again, what the identity is. They talked about that earlier and you heard about it. What I want to make you aware of is that's one of the most important things that you're going to begin to ask and find out about what you're doing so you can figure and know that things are moving in the way they need to be moving in. Also, another thing that you want to begin to look at is your way of how you do things and make things happen. So that we want to go ahead and let you know and make you aware of that those things are here. And also on top of that, it's one of the things that we don't really pay attention to. So what I'm saying is, see, when one actually gets into what they're really up to, your identity is going to be based on that. And then when you figure out your identity as not as you as who you think you are, but who you're going to be in the next 5 years, that all starts now. You actually have to live it from now and then get to it, because that makes a huge difference in that arena. So with that said, let's go to the next thing. Here's something a lot of people tell you. They haven't even told you. You can see, if you just take this vaccine, everything will go back to normal. All right. Now, you might think I'm talking about the COVID. No, I'm not talking about the COVID. I'm talking about your personal credit, because your personal credit will affect you as a CFO for your business, no matter what. No matter what, it will definitely affect you. A lot of you think that, oh my God, that you have to do this and you got to do that. But really, let me ask you the question. Who says you have to do this and that? What are some of the things that you say that needs to be done? See, one of the great things about this whole system and the credit building system is that This coming year, your personal credit is going to be really affected, but not the business credit. Business credit, when you have how can I explain this? Those of you who have an LLC, I had a lot of people come and argue. They are actually arguing. I mean, they almost want to go. They almost want to. If they had, I think if they were able to kill somebody, I think they would. No, an LLC is this, that, and the thing. Your LLC, man, is a sure joke. And I don't care. Now, there's only one attorney in the whole planet that I know of that actually told the truth about the LLCs. And everyone says it's a limited liability corporation. Even there's this one guy's been around for a long time in the business, calls it an LLC, is a limited liability corporation. No, it's not. It's a limited liability company. Go look it up online. It's not a corporation. It's not a limited liability corporation. That's the reason why there is not the power a lot of you really believe there is. Your full strength and protection comes from the corporation as long as you don't have any fraud. You got to remember, even if you have, a million managing members, you're all on the hook. And you say, oh, no, we're not. We're all on. We have protection. We forgive this and that. Are you guys really that naive? Like, really? Come on. LLCs, everyone talks about it. They have no idea what the protection. You want protection? Then the corporation starts there, and then you can start figuring out other areas to do stuff. If you really want an LLC, have the corporation create the LLC. And if you can't figure it out, that's all I'm going to tell you. But your corporation is the only one that you can have the full protection, because the LLC, you still are the person that's the target. You're not going to be protected from what you think. I mean, if you really think you're going to be protected, there's case after case after case. And the IRS, folks, the IRS doesn't even care. They don't care if you have a LLC. They'll just go right through it and laugh at you and slap you on the head and say you're a dummy. I mean, seriously, even if you get sued, you're the target. You're like how do you put it? In the Revolutionary War, you're like the British with the white X on the back and the white X in the front. You're a target. See, as a corporation, you don't have to be a target. If you do fraud, you're not going to get away with it anyway. So that's it. The only thing you can't do anything goofy is fraud. Even another thing, let's say you haven't done your resolution. I mean, yeah, if you haven't done your articles of incorporation in 2 years, well, they can pierce your veil. But hold on a minute. You realize there's a way you can go ahead and do it and correct it before they come? And you can say you discipline everybody in a fair manner, and then you put it away, but don't let it happen again. You don't let it happen again, none whatsoever. No. So what I want to let you know what I mean, if you just take this vaccine, everything will go back to normal. No, it won't. It's no longer normal. Let me tell you why. I'm going to give you one little sneak peek here. Here you go. You have something called LexisNexis. Welcome to LexisNexis. Choose your path. There's up there on the screen for you. You have the risk consumer portal. You want to go to the consumer portal. You want to request a consumer disclosure report. You want to opt out. And you also want to freeze your LexisNexis. LexisNexis deals a lot in the areas, and you want to begin to understand, you want to lock these down. You have LexisNexis, you have ARS, you have SageStream, CoreLogic. I mean, all these things, you want to freeze these accounts because this is where they get all the information from you. Even though the credit bureaus, the personal credit bureaus are not supposed to go to a third party to verify. Third party means the third party not being the original party. Like, let's say it was American Express. They have to go to American Express and talk to American Express. Just because the third party has it on their portal does not mean that they went to American Express. See, here's the thing. If you really lock down your stuff, you're going to find out you'll have more approvals, and you'll remove a lot of stuff that keeps popping back up from your thing. So I just want to let you know that there's many ways things can be done. But one thing I want to make you aware of is that all this stuff here is really, you've got to lock down and freeze your LexisNexis, ARS, SageStream, CoreLinks. These are the items that they go to. This is their go-to to go get things on you. You have a lot of these people, they don't even tell you that. You got a lot of these credit repair agencies, they're not supposed to charge you any money upfront until after it's done. Go check that out. There's some stuff on that as well. I mean, this is what I really want to let you know is that you can do a lot of this stuff on your own. And the thing is here, when you go to LexisNexis, a lot of you panic because oh my God, you really have to read. Unfortunately, you're going to have to read. Like I said, I'm not here to entertain you. I'm only here to go ahead and let you give you the information that works. One thing I want to make you aware of is that when you freeze these things, you're going to get it's easier to clear your report. Also, another thing, a lot of you get a lot of these, what do you call it, unsolicited calls, and you get all these advertisements in the mails because you guys have this open. Close it, freeze it. You don't want any of the information out there. You want to freeze it so no one can get into it. Then you have the right. One thing I'll really make you aware of is that the beauty of the whole thing is that by you going ahead and doing what needs to be done is that it really makes a big difference to you so you can actually know and have what you're looking for and get all the stuff frozen so you can move forward. Again, your personal credit this year is going to be one of the biggest things you want to clean up. You definitely want to clean it up because it is going to a one credit system. You don't, now all I can tell you right now, if you don't clean it up now, you're not going to like what it trails over. And then to clean that up, it's almost going to be, now when I say almost it's going to be impossible, it will be possible, but there are other things you're going to have to do to jump through hoops to get it done. But here right now, you have an opportunity to go and do what needs to be done and take care of it yourself, freeze it and take that because they're using third party against you and you don't even know it. You can get a lot of things removed from your report based on what they can't get. A lot of people don't really believe this. And I know this because I have conversations with people, a lot of conversations. And one of the things I want to say is that the conversations are not as helpful or as exciting as what it needs to be inside of, what's going on in the system. The thing is, what you want to make yourself aware of is this. If you don't close it down and don't lock it, they'll use everything against you. On top of that, a lot of people, like I was going to say a minute ago, is that they don't really believe you can get a BK removed. You can get a BK removed, but you've got to close and shut down these areas because LexisNexis is the one that gives us the BK notices. They're the ones that go check in the third party to see if they're filed. Then they go ahead and sell it to the bureaus. And if you take it off, it's going to come back on again. A lot of these credit repair companies don't really give you, put it this way. You can do the letters yourself. You can go online and look up the letters. I mean, that's the old school way, and there's nothing wrong. In fact, the old school way is now before you could go ahead and argue online and have some of your inquiries removed because you really didn't know what it was. It could be fraud. That's not a problem. But now you really can't do that. Now, if it really was fraud, you can call and do it and do it that way. That was perfectly fine, but it really has to be that. So I just want to let you know, you can do it the old school way, do the letters on the inquiries. The other stuff, you can go online and take off, wrong address or wrong phone numbers on there. It's no longer related to you. And the address that you see, I was working on someone, I was looking at going over their file with them. And hey, you have an address, their home address was there 3 times, but if you look at it real closely, the zip code was wrong, and the address, they had the address twice in the same line. So you can get those removed because that's not the actual address. So any little thing like that, you can get off yourself. You can dispute that online, but you want to really want to be really aware that what goes on is that you've got to start taking care of your personal credit. Because as a CFO or owner of a business, you're going to need to have that cleaned up because they're always going to start pulling soft. Well, they already are, but they're going to do a soft pull on you most of the time. They just want to see what happened is that through the years, you had a lot of scrupulous people that had no scruples. Okay. So what they would do, they build the business up. They never really did do any soft pulls for a while, for quite a long time. And times changed because people were, you know, they figured it out. People that had bad credit went to the business credit because it's actually the fastest and easiest way to establish credit, and they give you like 5 to 10 times more than they would as if you were a regular person applying for credit. So they would be getting those credit lines and cards and everything else, and they'd be wondering why, as time goes on, why weren't they paying? Well, if they went back and looked at the credit report, they had horrible credit. They never did anything to fix it up. They were using that, and they used businesses and they kept building business. And I'm going to show you some stuff how they did it. But that's why they're always going to end up in the hole, or end up in not paying their bills. So they changed it to now. Okay, great. 9/11 kind of helped out in that area too. So before, they didn't ask for your social security number to verify. No, they do a soft pull on you, don't tell you, or they might tell you, saying it won't affect your credit because they're going to soft pull. So it's not really to check your identity. It's to check to see how well you're doing with your personal life, to see, well, wait a minute, if you're the CFO of this company, then you should be a person that has merit to go ahead and be running the business in the CFO capacity. So if your credit's okay, then we'll give the company the credit. Now, your corporation can have stellar credit. They're still going to do that pull. I've had someone this week call me, and they said, hey, there's the situation. 12 years. He has a 90 business experience. He has 85 paydex scores. He has like 22 trade lines reporting to his Dun & Brad. His business experience, he has like 28 reporting there, and all on time and revolving and whatever he has on there, and credit cards. All right. Now, if you go look at his personal credit, he has over 102 hard inquiries. 102. Now, some people say, you can't have more than 6 inquiries in the last 90 days. Well, some of the programs I run, the 90-day, it just doesn't look good when you have all those inquiries on there. And it's big difference on those areas. So you just want to get your credit cleaned up as much as you can, because those other inquiries, man, holy Mother Mary and Joseph, you get black flagged inside the system from the business experience. I mean, from Experian itself. And it's like, it's horrible. It's just horrible. Okay. So your best thing to do is clean stuff up, because here's what's going to happen. If you begin and don't clean up, so the reason I'm telling about the guy is because now he has to clean everything up. His credit score is not that, when I say not that good, his personal credit score is like, now it's in 580. He sent me over a report with that, like last year this time, man, 825, he had an 845, 835. And so, wow. And all that changed because, again, and he's been working with this company, I forgot the name of it, but anyways, nothing was really getting done. He showed me all the letters and the stuff, like, wow, now some came off with the letters, but they're doing it too many at a time. When you have that many, you only can do maybe 3 or 4 at a time to request it to be whatever you're going to request and deny. But the thing is that you want to understand what the game, you got to understand that this is a game now. It's a game changer coming. Because here's a lot of things a lot of you talk about. So once you get your company and corporation going, one of the most important things is, guess what? It's going to be how you look behind the scenes. Now, also when it comes down to this kind of stuff, people go ahead and say, oh my God, this is not fair. When you get your corporation, and I'm talking corporation, you get an LLC, I'm just going to call it like it is. If you really honestly believe, I say believe, I didn't say fact, I said you believe it's a fact, that an LLC gives you the protection that you say it gives you, you best read the fine print. It's different day and night. A limited liability company, not a corporation. Corporations give you the best protection there is because there's certain forms and things you fill out. And you know, a lot of you, I can't believe how some of you actually will speak out of the arrogance of ignorance saying, oh, corporation's too hard. Then some of you have this great air of arrogance about saying, well, corporation gets double taxed and I don't want to. Have you ever really sat down with a brilliant CPA? Not ones you just find down your local Walmart. I'm talking, and I'm not saying they're not sharp, but I'm talking one that knows that they can go ahead and just recite it in their sleep. But do you really know what double taxation is? I don't really think you do. And you would find, once you find out, you'll start laughing. And you say, well, when I want to S corporation. Well, you know, S corporation stands for, you know what, STPUDID, right? I didn't spell it right, but I know I want to upset some people. That's what it stands for, because man, when you sign that 1120 form, you're saying that you own all the stock. So guess who they come after? You again. You guys want to do this protection stuff, but you don't want to actually learn what it does and how it works. You just want, oh, that's what they say. That's what they say. That is the most surest way to go ahead and have an accident. It's like you're driving with a rear view mirror, always looking in the back, and you have a lot of accidents. No, folks, this is what we teach you at Corporate Credit Blueprints, not only about your credit, but also we have an excellent staff of attorneys. Now, I'm not here to be your attorney. In fact, I wouldn't never want to be an attorney, because the attorney doesn't even have a license to practice in any state they're in. They only have a bar license. They don't have a license signed by the governor of that state, just like your real estate license or your broker license or your contractor's license is signed by the governor of the state you're in. They don't have a state license. And a lot of people, well, I got a license and all. Is it signed by the state? No, you got to really read it. And guess what? They won't let you read it. Asking for a copy of their license for the state of, I don't know, state of Maine, state of Vermont, state of Chicago. So that's why you have two different types of codes. You have statutes, codes and statutes, and you have other, I don't want to get into that too much, but yes, the statute and codes is what they work under. If you had to work under another, there's two courts in the courtroom, and you have to know how to ask for it. A lot of people don't. And a lot of people say, oh, that's a bunch of malarkey. Okay, just like the LLCs are safer and better and more protection than a C corporation. And then you guys complain about you say the super rich. The super rich are avoiding taxes. Are they really? Well, we all know, I'm honest that we all know, but Elon Musk, do y'all know what he did when he was younger at 18? Sure, he might have been working at a boiler room, got 18 bucks an hour. That's still, he was still trading time for money. Like a lot of us, I did before. Oh, it's horrible. You get the leftovers on your paycheck. And you think Mr. Elon Musk, he would still been there if he didn't really think it through what he was doing. And how super rich avoiding taxes. Do you guys not realize you have the same ability as they have to go ahead and build their business? Do you not realize that? You have the same thing to go ahead and fall into the super rich avoiding taxes. Do you really think avoiding taxes, the IRS would let them get away? Come on. The IRS has 6,550 pages in the IRS tax code. There's 6,549 pages that tell you how not to pay taxes, and only one page, how to. And that's the one that actually works and gets a paycheck. And the surest way to take your dream away from you is giving you a paycheck, because the paycheck numbs your dream, because you're always going to rely on the paycheck. And during the COVID, A lot of you learned it was taken away for you just as you thought it was so secure. Some people bought cars like before they closed everything down and they were, whoa, what happened, But you all say, the super rich avoid taxes. Many of the wealthiest pay little or no income tax. Yeah. So what's new about that? News, media. The media goes ahead and tries to hype. Now here's what the media is doing. It's taking the guy and the lady or woman that's working 12 or 2 jobs to go ahead and provide ends meet, because the schooling system never taught them about, wait a minute, you have another avenue. Start your business, build business credit. Use that just like they do. They use OPM. They use a lot of grants. Some grants for the states you go into will allow, like, do you think Elon Musk doesn't know about grants? Some grants will allow you to go ahead and not pay taxes because you have to use it in a certain way. So they're telling you how to use it. Ladies and gentlemen, they're no different than you. They all started one day opening up a business. It's not that they have any secret. It's not that they're avoiding. They're using they're using what's in the books. They're using what the system wrote. But the media is trying to say the super rich are avoiding taxes. Actually, it can be the average person that's making $100,000 a year in his business is avoiding taxes. You have the same thing. You have the same ways to do things. But a lot of you are so stuffy, well, that's my business and I know everything. All right, cool. But do you know everything? I promise you $1 to a donut. Elon Musk does not have people around him that know less than him, which means this. His originating circle, I'm willing to bet, people are smarter than him in some areas that he has no interest in. And that's all you really need. I don't want to have to do everything in the heck no. I rather have people around me that are smarter than me to do what needs to be done, because that's not what I'm good at. And did I have to? Absolutely. I mean, I had to be the acquisition person, the administrative person, the disposition person, the marketing person. Oh, I'm horrible at that. But at least I know. So what you want to begin is when they tell you the super rich are avoiding taxes, know that you avoiding learning how to do and play the game because they had a staff that shows them how to do it. You can YouTube all this stuff and tells you how you can do it. Man, a lot of you, man, back in the early 80s, there was none of this really. You had to play like holy moly. You have to go to the library. Now you can pull this up on the thing. And you can do exactly what they and follow the rules. And what I mean by follows the rules is this. See, the Internal Revenue Service, or the AKA IRS, the super rich avoiding taxes again. Many of the wealthiest paying that. Now the IRS is the one that gives us the rules to go ahead and win by. If you play by the rule book, you can win. Even if when they say you owe something, you don't argue what you owe. You do a conditional acceptance, and then you can do your argument without dishonor. See, it's the dishonor that gets you in problems with them, because see, they mail you a notice. And if you don't answer that notice in 30 days, you just acquiesce and say, hey, you're right. Everything's 30 days. It's an old Hebrew thing they do. But when they send you a notice, you all run instead of saying no, conditional acceptance without dishonor. You don't argue the thing. Now you start asking for certain things and certain things. You realize on the assessment, there really is no live body behind it. And I'm not going to get too much to how to say the assessment they make against you. And you have a right to ask for this and ask for that. And if they don't do it in 30 days, guess what? Then you can file your notice of default on them. You got to understand, the super rich avoid taxes. No, the super rich have somebody, or they learn enough about the Internal Revenue Service so they can go ahead and use their own words against them. You guys realize they have no license in any 50 of the states to do business? They don't have any license to do business in the state. They're not even registered in any state to do any business legally. And yet, when they send you a document, you fall and buck to it. Go check it out. Those of you who are all smart and really great at doing research, go do the research. Third party, fact check me. You know, that even the Hannity shop won't even. I'm surprised that Sean Hannity, I really, the man has a certain amount of intelligence, but he doesn't have enough intelligence to go check to see if this is true. Because if he did, do you realize, I think if he spoke about it, the IRS would probably be a little upset. They probably would audit him like crazy. And you know what? So what? Let them audit. There's ways you can handle the audit. See, there's the only, and can they do what they want? Yes and no. And that's why a lot of you know there's a difference between a bar attorney, BAR, which is a British Accredited Registry attorney, or a no bar attorney. What? There's a no bar attorney? Oh, yes, there are. Those are the ones you want to talk to. Those are the ones that tell you things. Also, there was a gentleman called Harold Stokes. He's the one that spilled the beans long ago to me. And that's why he told me, he laughed one day, he goes, look, I'm going to tell you because it doesn't matter, because he was the older gentleman. So he kind of like, what are you going to do to me now? Yeah, he's only told me that none of the attorneys have a license to practice. And he told me how and showed me, look, what does it say? They don't have it. And then also on top of that, he told me the IRS has no right to really collect from you because of the fact they don't have any, they're not registered in any state to do business. Just something to think about. And yeah, if you had now, when you learn all this stuff, you begin to get the paperwork that goes with it and submit it. Do they like it? No. Do they answer? Do you think they answer an affidavit that's been filed? And they see, you have we have LexisNexis, and you have the let's see, you file in the county recorders, you file your affidavit in the county recorder's office, because now it becomes a legal document. Then you go ahead and also post it in the paper for 4 weeks as well. And then you send the notice to them, because now it's a legal document. It's not just when you did an affidavit, I went notarized and sent it off. No, you put it in the public's eyes to say, hey, look it. And then you'll also take it to the person if they name it. Some of them are really chicken, they don't put no name on it. So you're going to have to go, then there's other people you have to send it to that puts them on the hook for it. But the thing is, you want to begin to understand is that you have ways to do the things like this. And here's when I say things, to go ahead and not avoid taxes. See, they use the word avoid. Oh my God, it's avoid. Ooh, avoid. No, the super rich understand. The super rich also, you, the person that's working 3 jobs, you have the same ability to go ahead and know what needs to be done. Yeah, you're going to have the research on your own, or maybe get your paralegal, pay them, or have someone, family member that's your youngster in there is good in technology. Hey, tell them, go on YouTube, look this up for me, get these documents, so I can start reading them. Because you guys want to understand something. There is no loopholes. The IRS, there's no loopholes. Y'all, loopholes. Loopholes is for the weak of mind to say that. It's the weak of mind that says a loophole. Because that's what they want to tell you. So because you're working to make you think that you can't do it too. Yes, you can. If you're willing to educate yourself. See, education. See, people say knowledge is power. No, it's not. Because all the knowledge out there you need to win in life, building your business credit and understanding the game that you can go ahead and do the same thing and not, you can actually have it where you can go ahead and not pay the certain amount of taxes because there's no loopholes, because the IRS says it's in their book. You don't have to get creative. You don't have to lie. You can tell the truth and use your own words against them. Here, it's in your section. Here you go, section this, section that. We're going to do, argue against it? They can't. So they're doing what they're allowed to do. And you do a corporation, you're allowed to do the same thing. An LLC is dangerous because you're still the sitting duck, because you're still signing your name on the dotted line. Because when you sign for a corporation, you're signing in behalf of the corporation, or an AIF, attorney in fact, for the corporation. It's not you personally, flesh and blood, living man, sentient man or woman. So that's signing. So that's why I want to let you know that you guys really think, oh my God, they're not paying taxes. Because here's one of the things you want to begin to learn. Because when you learn that you can do the same game they do, you're going to learn why the SS form, the 1120 form, is so powerful. How many tax IDs can you have? Not you personally, but how many tax IDs can the business have? How many children can they birth, which means like divisions? As you can see down here, they have the main one at 100K, another division, then a division, and then division below that. How many? Maybe you can go 9 across. Then you build down. Maybe build down a total of 168 altogether down. How much would that be? You guys got to understand, this is the tax per division. But when you have an SS number, the custodial number of the United States corporation that locks you in and has you bound and has you mentally beat to tell you, oh, you can't do this. That's why they tell you to do this. Just take the vaccine, this vaccine, and everything will go back to normal. Just go back to work, get a job. Look at some of you. Some of you got real creative, and now you're not back at your job. You're making money because of this. But what are you doing to go ahead and to make sure you're there? I mean, I have some great attorneys to turn you on to. Man, they're good at what they do. Oh, there's ways. Some of the ways I show are simple, are the simplistic ways for when to say a person doesn't have a lot of money in the beginning, so it helps them. But as they grow, they can take that same structure and modify it, and without losing the protection it's already given you, and the attorneys will fix it up. I'm telling you, folks, they're telling you again, just take this vaccine. Everything will go back to normal. And then they start telling you, hey, look what they're avoiding. Look at the super rich avoiding. Do you really think since the United States, is going to go ahead and let them avoid? No, they're not going to let them do that. Are you crazy? But if the rules say they can, what are they going to do? They got to honor their own rules. It's that simple. So you want to begin to it's not avoiding taxes, it's knowing the tax. Here's the thing. If you really want to know the tax code, when you can't sleep at night, go to irs.gov. And I promise you, the first 4 paragraphs, you're going to go to sleep. It's a lot. It's just dry. See, tonight I'm not so pumped up because I really want to get this to you, because a lot of you might say, hey, about that. But the thing is, I really want to drive this home. Elon Musk was just like you and me. You, like me, were like him. He worked in a boiler room. And I've worked in a boiler room. And it is loud and hot during the summer. During the winter, it's not so bad because you got that warmth from all the boilers going. And they're big. And you hear the big flame coming out of that thing. and then you got to clean them out. And there's certain things you got to do with them. You got to flush them out. You got to go ahead and take the readings of the water, all that stuff. So one of the things you want to begin to understand, avoiding taxes, the media is just lying to you. They're not avoiding taxes. What they're doing is this is what they really should say. The super rich are using the tax code to go ahead and pay less taxes. That's the truth. And it should say the persons that own corporations are learning now how to go ahead and use the IRS codes to go ahead and not pay taxes because the code tells them what they need to do not to. And it's true. You can't make this stuff up. Avoiding. Why don't they just tell the truth about it, that they have people that study the codes day and night to let them know, okay, great, you can do this now, you can do this. Get this particular grant, you don't have to pay any taxes on the income, blah, 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 so on and so on and so on. You're no different. You don't think you can get a grant on a business that you just started? Are you crazy? I mean, I have a great grant writer. She's awesome. So I just want to let you know, you do not have to go ahead. You can be just like them, and it's up to you up here now. What is your identity about you? Their identity, you can tell what his identity is. His identity is, I'm going to go to space. He never let whatever happened to him in the beginning, he didn't let the boiler room make him. He made the boiler room work him to get him out. See, we're on to begin to understand these things. The wealthiest people are not the ones that do less. They're the ones that are actually contributing more to society than a lot of people want to suck off the side society. They know how to use the system. You too do. This is what we teach you at Corporate Credit Blueprints, how you can use the system in your benefit. So you can get your corporate credit, you can get your credit straightened out. So you can actually learn this and do this with your knowing how to use the SS form, how to get a tax ID, how to use it to build your business credit, and daisy chain it, mirror it, whatever you're going to do, with many ways to do it. Because you only get one number. That's why you got to straighten up your personal credit, get that straight, because it's once you mess it up, it's tough to get straight. But here, a corporation is a legal person. A division is a legal person. And you got to thank you, the 14th Amendment, because the United States of America Incorporated, which Inc., which it does have a DUNS number. It's not the United States for America. It's the United States of America. Okay. You got to understand the distinction between the two. All right. And if you go back and read the first part of United States, United is lowercase for America. But this is the United States of America, Inc. So because of their 14th Amendment, they gave you that, made a corporation as a legal person and a division a legal person. And how do they do it? They let you get an SS form, which lets you get a tax ID. There's so many great things they give you. And you just, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I don't know what, I mean, I get it. They just don't really want you to know. Here's what I mean. I know I'm giving you numbers that probably some people might not relate to, but you know what? That's what it is. Let me blueprint you. Because once we get you started, we can get you the American Express card. American Express card is a great card. I like it because it's great for divisions. You can get your divisions built up to 100,000. And remember I told you that I said Sunday, those who have a personal American Express card, there's a way to daisy chain that card 16 times. There's a way to do it. And the personal side of it. And I know one is out there talks about it. And I don't think anyone's doing it out there. With our people, we do it. Because you can. Nothing illegal. It's straight out, straight up. But a lot of people I don't teach it to due to the fact is there's a certain organization people that I will not teach it to. Because way back when I first started building credit, they did, and they really abused it. And they ran away with the money. So I won't do it. I don't care what they pay me. I will not do it because this is for people that really want to get ahead in life. They need to begin to learn the concept of OPM. Other people's money. How do you think Elon Musk grows? How do you think Bezos grow? How do you think Jeff Zuckerberg grew? How do you think Steve Jobs grew? It wasn't. In fact, Steve Jobs had a 2 lesson. He got a twofer. They aced him out of his own business, and he found a way to buy himself back in through the stock. He had to study to figure that out, and he found a way to get it. And he walked in one day, and bam, it's mine again. See, you guys don't understand. It is so awesome, the power that you have. Well, I don't have time to learn because I'm working. Then, guess what? Then you don't have time to complain. If you're going to complain, you're not doing it. See, people complain, there's no action behind them. I had someone call me today, look at, go ahead. I want to do your thing, this, that, and the other thing. I told him that he wanted the one program that actually is, it's pretty much, it's a few dollars. And I said, no, it's this all up front. And he said, look, here's what I'll do. I'll Zelle you right now this much. I said, okay, and then Friday I'll Zelle you another piece. And then on the first Friday of next month, I'll Zelle you the rest. I said, okay, I'll do that. If not, I said, you lose the money. So I sent them, I emailed him contract. He signed that, signed it back, and said he doesn't do it. Boom. Okay, fine, I'll work with him. So he knows he'll lose his money. Now, will I really do it? I'll probably give him a hard time about it. But not really. But they got to have some skin in the game. I don't know if it's, no, he's not in here tonight. But yeah, but the thing is, you know what? You got to get it done. This is stuff you're looking for to get done. This is where you can learn. You can daisy chain your own personal cards, but no one knows to even help you do it. This is the crazy part. And also another thing, this is what I'm talking about. I mean, there's just so much freedom. And your best cards are the American Express cards because they're the only card that doesn't affect your credit score. The best card on the planet. It doesn't affect your credit score. I would get American Express, American Express, American Express. I used to call it Medic Express. So anyways, with that said, I just want to say thank you for tonight. Thank you very much for being here. And most of all, I just want to say, you know what? It's an honor to even speak to you folks. And thank you for your listening. Thank you for your time. And most of all, I just want to say you have a great evening and have a blessed day. We'll see you on Sunday. All right. Have a good one. God bless you all.